Hi everyone, my name is Kiran. Today I'm going to discuss about or it's kind of interview question and answers related to Azure load balancer services. And we know in Azure platform there are different types of load balancers is available, and so we'll try to understand an interview perspective wise, and you'll okay. So might be you will get the very helpful question and answers for this in this video. And before that, if you are new to my channel, please subscribe and click on bell icon. And whenever new video I uploaded, and you will get the notification. And if you like my videos, please like and comment below. And if you are looking something specific videos, and you can comment below, I will try to do it. Okay, thank you. Let's jump into the topic today, Azure Load Balancer services. First of all, most of the time we'll get the interview question, one of the interview question. Can you please explain about what are the different types of load balancers in Azure platform, in Azure cloud? So we know, everyone knows, like there are four types of load balancers is available. Um, sorry. So first one is a Azure load balancer. Second is a application gateway. Third one is a traffic manager. Fourth one is a front door. There's no like first, second, third, like fourth. Just I mentioned is a like four load balancer. That's the reason just I mentioned the numbers. Load balancers. These are the four type of load balancers. After that, immediately they will ask you one more question. What is the difference between these four load balancer? Can you explain briefly about these load balancers? So in this scenario, and first of all, we can divide into two categories: regional wise and global wise. And that way, regional wise, two types of load balancer. That is a Azure load balancer. What we are seeing here, this is a load balancing Azure load balancer, and the second one is the application gateway. These two load balancer for regional purpose. This is a Microsoft defined, and remaining two load balancer, traffic manager and as well as front door. It's a two load balancer defined for global. Globally, it's a load balancing purpose. We can use it. These two load balancers. And in a little bit more deeply, we need to explain it. The differences also. Coming to four types of load balancer, we can see here in the screen also. And application gateway, we can use internal and external purpose. That means within the organization as well as over the internet purpose also we can use it. Application gateway is a layer 7 load balancer. That means HTTP and HTTPS and support the protocols. And layer 7 means in the OSI layer is a layer 7 is a application layer. It's a, that means it's application uh, purpose only it's supported. And might be whenever you raise the concern or if you mention is a OSI, automatically they will raise the what is the OSI, and if you know the different all the layers, can you explain it also? Might be they will ask you that question also. Might be they will raise the things. And second thing is in application gateway is a support Azure services, virtual machines, and everything as a backend pool. And it's especially, backend is we can use Azure Kubernetes services also. And for using the ingress control, especially directly we can't attach it. Azure Kubernetes, it's a ingress control. We need to enable it and integrate the application gateway. That way is a backend pool AKS supported. And SSL and TLS offloading, these are one of the future, and using that we can minimize the performance issues in the backend pool of that servers or app services, whatever it. And generally application gateway, it will take that load SSL and TLS offloading. And like these are the generally application gateway and differences wise one thing. And coming to load balancer regional wise, and regional load balancer layer for load balancing, that means transport layer in the OSI model wise. And this is also we can use for internal and external, that means within the organization over the internet purpose also. And it's even global recently, not recently, it's a very long back onward supporting. And global access wise Azure regions, but it's backend, it's not support the any virtual machine or anything. It's only support the again backend also load balancers only, the regional load balancer and front end global Azure load balancer. That way it's supported. That is a we can define it. And other two load balancer again differences. Traffic manager, it's works on the DNS based traffic load balancer, and it's a global Azure, as all Azure regions supported. And not only Azure, it's any public APIs, any region of any location or any cloud related resources. Also, we can integrate the traffic manager as a backend pool, and inbuilt wise, they are providing high availability. There are different routing methods is available for supporting, like performance routing, priority routing, and geolocation routing, and different routing methods is available. And the front door, this is also global load balancer, especially layer 7 load balancer. That means application layer, HTTP and HTTPS, and site acceleration. That means especially um, like whenever you hosted the application, and backend is a some specific region, but that users in the different locations, they want access it quickly, and that's the way site acceleration is a CDN, that is a content delivery network. Especially it's an add-on feature in the front door. Okay, and SSL and TLS offloading also it's available in the front door. It's a missing of multiple features is a bring up is a front door. Especially this way you can give the differences between the these four load balancers. And might be after that they will go into deeply one by one load balancer. Like in this video, I'm going to cover about normal Azure load balancer. After that, another video I will try to cover is the application gateway, friend door, and traffic manager. Okay, so first of all, I will try to cover about load balancer interview questions on this. Okay, scenarios, different scenarios. Suppose and question like this: in my organization, I'm not using the Azure firewall, and I'm going with the Palo Alto or Checkpoint or any other third-party firewalls in my organization. I'm going to deploy it, and those two virtual machine or Palo Alto like as a virtual appliance. That means, and I want high availability that virtual appliance. And what type of load balancer we are going to use it for such type of configuration? That is might be you will get it or differently. I want to use it that Palo Alto or something third party virtual appliance in my organization, and is it required the load balancer for configuring that high availability of those virtual appliance? Yes. And like this is a way you can change it the question format, but end of the day virtual appliance high availability purpose, we must and should use the Azure load balancer. In Azure load balancer again is a one more option is a called gateway load balancer. That is a gateway load balancer, guys. You can see here this is a gateway load balancer when we are going to use the any virtual appliance in our organization, and we must and should use the gateway load balancer. Okay, and coming to another two is a load balancers is available, standard and basic. Sometimes you will get the interview questions like that. Can you different explain about difference between the standard and basic load balancer? Generally, most of the who are giving the interview, those people give the wrong answers like some places. Those things I will rectify here. Standard and basic. Standard and basic, both the things support them over the internet as well as internal organization purpose. We can host the services. It's a basic means internal and standard means public. It's a that is a assumption. Most of the people that is a wrong. Okay, that's a wrong, guys. And standard and basic both the things is a supporting over the internet as well as internal purpose also. But only is a differences it will come. Standard it's a pricing model, and it's a we need to pay. Basic is a free, that is a one thing. And basic is a going to retiring soon, that means is a going to decommission, or it's kind of Microsoft not supporting, and they are going to asking us to migrate basic load balancer to standard load balancer. That is a recommended, that is a we can mention. And basic load balancer backend, it support the only 300 backend pools only, 300 instance only, not 300 backend pools. It's kind of 300 instance only in the backend pool it's supported. But standard is support up to 1000. That is a 1000 instance supported. And as well as Outbound NATing, it's not supporting in the basic, and standard it support the outbound NATing also supporting. Inbound and outbound NAT is available. Those things is standards only supported both the things, but basic it won't support it. As well as health probe. Try to understand, guys. Health probe. Health probe is a HTTPS. Generally, health probe HTTPS not supported by basic, and HTTPS health probe supported by only standard. Okay, that is a we need to give the differences. And we know already understand the gateway load balancer when we'll use it, and that scenario also we got it. And regional load balancer and global load balancer, when we'll use it, and can you give the explanation or any good example like that? Might be the you will get the question. A regional load balancer generally we can use for any distribute the load into the backend pools of that servers in the within the region. That way, that backend servers wise we can use it. It's a backend, it support the virtual machine skill set. And that is also one more thing in the standard load balancer. And the basic load balancer, it won't support it as a virtual machine scale set, only virtual machine only. And it's supported. Regional and global load balancer differences here. Regional load balancer backend pool, it's to support the virtual machine scale set, or depends on the SKU type, and it's supported. But global load balancer only support the backend. Again, regional load balancer not support the any virtual machine in the backend pool. So global load balancer backend, again, we can keep it as a backend pool. Regional load balancer, guys, not any virtual machines. That is a way we can give the example or answer for that. Okay. And coming to by default, some scenario questions. Suppose I'm using my internal load balancer. I deployed it, and backend to virtual machine I added. And before adding, when I access the virtual machine with the private IP address, and even that virtual machine don't have public IP address, and virtual machine when I try to add it, access it and check the internet access, it's working. I can able to access the Google or Microsoft sites or any sites I can able to access. But when I add to backend, like a load balancer backend pool, those virtual machine, I can't able to access the internet. So how to resolve it? So generally, by default, load balancer for security reasons, it will block the internet access on the backend pool of virtual machine, guys. That is expected. And for that, we should go with the one thing. If you are in your organization all traffic via firewall, you need to create a whitelist that load balancer, IP address or subnet range. That subnet range you need to whitelisted, so that backend virtual machines also can able to access it. Or otherwise, we have to go with the NAT gateway. Using NAT gateway also, we can get the internet access on the backend virtual machine. These generally you will get the interview questions. And one more question might be you will get it. Um, like it's I have public Azure load balancer that normally I deployed it, and backend also my virtual machine is over the internet, and I'm using the standard load balancer, and backend I'm using the basic public APIs of virtual machine I'm using. Is it is it work? No, it won't work, guys. It won't work. And front end, what we are using standard load balancer means standard public APIs. Backend virtual machines also, if you are assigning the public APIs, it should be standard public APIs only. It should be standard public APIs. That is a recommendation by Microsoft. And second thing, okay, I'm using it's well and good, and load balancer I deployed, and backend two virtual machine is added and everything good, and still I'm not able to access the internet, or it's not internet, guys. Sorry, something is not working, and like over the internet, it's trying to access it is not working, and not able to access that backend what I hosted. That means energy network security group is a must and should associate the that subnet level, guys. So that is the answer, and we should create a rules and allow the things. That is a Microsoft mentioning clearly in the documentation also. We must and should associate the network security group and allow the rules, respect to rules. We should create it that port numbers wise and everything, so that only we can able to access standard public load balancer IP address. Through that we can able to access. Otherwise, we can't able to access it. That is a one more thing. So this is a my remembering the things. And other than that, yeah, one more question. And in my organization, I'm deploying the Windows failover cluster or SQL failover cluster or Exchange failover cluster, or it's some other SQL always on cluster or something other cluster. It's I'm going to deploy it. So what type of configuration we need to made in Azure Load Balancer? Is it really required the Azure Load Balancer? Without Load Balancer, we can't deploy the failover clusters in Azure platform? Yes. Why? What is the reason why is required the Azure Load Balancer? Azure Load Balancer, generally in the failover cluster, we require the virtual IP address. Where is the required that virtual IP address? And it's a generally virtual IP address in the cluster name. That name required some IP address, that is a virtual IP address, as well as cluster roles. Cluster roles also we required the some virtual IP address. Those IP address, virtual IP address in Azure platform, we won't get it. Those things, how to get it? Through load balancer. To load balancer, through that we can get it. So that configuration wise in the backend load balancing rule, when is creating, and we should enable the floating IP address, and using that we can get the that virtual IP address. That means that floating whenever we enable, and it's a backend virtual machine, it will create a some loopback adapter IP loopback adapters in the respective virtual machines, and through loopback adapter and this load balancer IP address we can utilize as a virtual IP address. We can utilize as a virtual IP address, guys. That is sometimes we'll get the in the clustering related any issues, and we need to check it that way, and it's very useful. And another thing, some questions you will get it, and like example, my Exchange application is running, and some applications is required the cache. Suppose one user trying to access the application in my load balancer backend of the service. Whenever hit the user, the application, the request go to the some one server. And always the request should reside on the same server. It should not go to the another backend server. It should not go to the second server. So in this case, how to configure the load balancer? Yes, there is a session persistence is available, guys, and we need to configure it. Depends on the requirement. Only IP address or IP address and protocol, that is the options is available, and we can select it accordingly. We can configure it whenever we configure such options, so that whenever user first time hit to that application and the request go to the one server, that always whenever same user, that means same IP address, same protocol, or same IP address wise, whenever hit the request to that application, the request always go to that same backend pool server only. It won't go to the another server. That is a way session persistence it works. And sometimes you will get the question, what type of algorithm Microsoft using in the Azure load balancer? By default is a Azure load balancer using 5 triple algorithm they are using. 5 triple algorithm they are using, guys. What is a 5 triple algorithm? Like it's a kind of load balancer, like source and destination protocol, and kind of two more things are there. I forget the thing, and it's a 5 triple algorithm in Azure load balancer. Let me tell you here right away. Azure load balancer algorithm 5 triple algorithm. Yes, 5 triple algorithm. Sorry guys, that is a I given the little bit wrong. And yes, Azure load balancer distribution modes, and it's ash based source IP, source port number, destination IP, destination port number, and protocol type. These are the totally five triple algorithm, guys. This is it's a Microsoft is a backend using the algorithm type. And session persistence, just now I mentioned same thing, image wise it's showing here clearly. You can see here use cases also clearly mentioned. This type of interview questions also will get it. Other than that, gateway load balancer, just now I mentioned, no? So like in this video, and you can see here, especially image wise, you will realize that when and where we can use it. NVA means network virtual appliance. This is the way we can use it, this gateway load balancer. I hope this is a video you like very much. And if you like, please like and comment below. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe. Thank you. Thank you very much, guys.